Hey everybody, it's me Amy, and today I have another video for you guys. It's Friday, of course I have a video for you guys, and it's my most used brushes video. I really didn't know what I was going to film this week, and then my mom just randomly asked me what brushes are like my favorite brushes, and then I was like, well, the ones I really use are these ones, and I'm like, video idea. So if you check my blog, I have everything written out on my blog. Let's jump right in. First thing, it's not really a brush, but it applies makeup, and I just got this in November for IMATS, so last month at IMATS, but I love it regardless. I've been using it ever since I got it. Well, not ever since I got it, but like since the week after when I started using it. So it's the Beauty Blender, obviously. Hello, love it. It's dirty because I just used it today, but love this for applying foundation. It applies it so natural, gives it the most natural finish, and then like it gives it a more buildable finish, so you can build it up even more, and it won't look cakey. Even though I use Nearly Naked by Revlon, it still does the same thing. It's amazing. I love this Beauty Blender, and I can't imagine like putting on foundation without it now. Like, I need this in my life. Next one is the Sigma F30 large powder brush. It's just this large powder brush. Love this brush for applying my setting powder, either my Nearly Naked powder. I love this for the Nearly Naked powder, or the MAC Studio Fix when I don't want a heavy coverage of the MAC Studio Fix. Next is the Sigma F60 foundation. I use this when I apply my Instant Age Drawing Brightener. I use this to blend it out because it gets right under my eye because of the point, and I just pat it in and get it in there because I really don't like using my fingers too much. So yes, I use that. Another way I apply my concealer, obviously I just wash this brush so it's not like used, but it's the Bdellium Tools F53, and it's just this small stippling brush, this small like dual fiber stippling brush right here. I use this when I'm doing my under eye concealer, like just the concealer in general, just like patting it to give it more of a nice flawless coverage, you can say, instead of using just a plain concealer brush or my fingers. There's a hair on here. Ooh. I love using this brush. I have the F40, a large angled contour, and I use this for blush. My like not insanely pigmented blushes. Like I use this for my MAC blushes, my NARS blush, Makeup Forever blush. For my other blush brush that I use a lot is the Sigma F50, and it's the stippling brush. I use this for my NYX blush and my Tarte blush because those are like super pigmented, so I use this to kind of diffuse it more, to give, so I don't apply way too much because I have a really heavy hand with blush. So if I use like my I use my NYX blush with this brush, I'm gonna look like a clown. Same thing if I use it with my Tarte blush. So I like using this dual fiber brush because it kind of diffuses, it kind of picks up a less product for me to put on my face. I like to also use the stippling brush, a different one, of course. I have another one. I like to use this stippling brush. This is the Royal Language stippling brush, large stippler C251, that's what it's called. Sometimes I use a Sigma one, but it's mostly this one. For some reason I reach for the shorter handle for my bronzer, but as long as I'm using one, I just like it because it kind of blends it as it's applying it and gives it more of a natural kind of finish on my skin. This is the 925 Bdellium Tools fan brush from the Pink Bamboo series. I love using this for highlight. Now I just got this in November as well for IMATS, and let me tell you, I'm so glad I picked up this brush because it is a godsend. It applies my highlighter beautifully. I'm not wearing highlighter today, but beautiful for applying highlights. Love this brush for highlighting. Next I have the E40, and this one is like a fluffy, it's a taper blending brush, I believe. Yes, it's a taper blending brush. I love this brush for applying under eye powder. Now I apply my banana powder with this. I also apply my NYC translucent powder with this, but I haven't been using my banana powder for the past week and a half, I guess, week and a half, because I've been doing Project Pan. So, and my Project Pan was to use up all of the NYC powder, so I've been using this to apply NYC powder, and I love it because it just gives, it's big enough to really just get under the eye and kind of sweep it under the eye to give beautiful, and it kind of like blends it at the same time, so it's not caked on my under eye, so I don't look like a cake face. Next, I also like to use the 224, which is kind of like the same thing, a taper blending brush, or even this one by Bdellium Tools, which is kind of the same thing, the 785 taper blending brush. This is also from the Pink Bamboo series, but these type of brushes are generally the same. I just feel like the MAC one is smaller. If you can see the difference between the three, let me pop it up here. Okay, so if you can see the difference between the three, the MAC one is a little bit thinner, and I like to really just use this in my eye, but sometimes I'll just use, I apply my blending color with this brush, and then I just straight up use this as a clean blending brush to just blend everything nicely. So that's what I use these for. I love having so many blending brushes. You can never have too much blending brushes. Never. Speaking of another blending brush, the MAC 217, which is a different kind of blending brush. This is good for applying and blending color. I use one, sometimes I just use this for one look, like I apply one and blend it with one, and I'm done. But the 217 is by far one of my favorite brushes to use, especially for crease work. I know Sigma has a dupe for it, Coastal Scents has a dupe for it, like every makeup brush company has a dupe for this brush, like, because it's literally the most amazing brush. Next is the E55. I love this for applying color on my lid. It's small enough so I can really pack the color on my lid because I have a small lid space, and then I can also like use the tip of it and put it under my eye as well. So I love this brush for applying color. Next is a pencil brush. Like a crease kind of brush, but this one's called the pencil blender, but this is usually just called like a crease brush because it's small like a pencil brush, but it's like fuller and fluffier, and you can really use it to really do like outer V work, and I really like that if I'm doing like getting a color right in there. I love to use this brush for that, and even to like drag it under the lid from a lower lash line like that. Gorgeous. Like there's not one makeup look I do where I do not use this brush. That's how much I love it and use it, and I really recommend everyone having at least one of these brushes. If you don't want a pencil brush, then get one of these because this can be used as a pencil brush, an outer V brush, like a crease brush. It can be everything you want it to be. It's a perfect brush for doing really nice looks, and you can achieve great looks with this brush. Really recommend it. Another brush is an angled brush, Sigma E70 angled shading, or even like this one. I kind of like this one a little bit better because it's smaller, but this is the angled eye shader BE15 from Royal and Langnickel. This is their brush essentials line. So this is just good if you're doing crease work. You can apply color in the crease and blend color in the crease beautifully, and it gets like really good, especially if you're doing a cut crease. This is an amazing brush. I love this when I'm doing a cut crease. So yeah, but I do use these often too, even if it is like just applying color at the bottom as well, blending it, blending a color over your crease color if you want to do kind of like a faded out effect or faded in effect, I guess. These brushes are great for that too, and I love them and I use them constantly. So love those brushes. Last but certainly not least, liner brush that I like for when I'm doing gel liner is the Sigma E05 liner brush. This is just a little mini travel size I got, but it's a standard eyeliner brush. Love it for gel liner, especially since I've been using my gel liner more lately. I've been really reaching for this. So those are my most used brushes. I know it seems like a lot of brushes, but I really do love all these brushes and I use them constantly. If it's not all in one look, I go by my most used brushes by what I mostly wash when I'm washing brushes. I wash my brushes. I try and wash my brushes every 2 weeks, but somehow I only does it once a month. But when I wash my brushes, when I'm doing my deep clean for my brushes, I look at the ones that I'm always washing. These are the ones I feel like every time I deep clean my brushes, I'm always washing these brushes because I'm always using them. Those are my most used brushes. It's probably a really long video, but I don't care. My videos have been really long lately, and it's really been starting to annoy me too, actually, when I'm editing. So I'm like, damn it, again. So hopefully this video is under 10 minutes. If it's not, I totally am sorry. If it's under, next week's video will be under 10 minutes, hopefully. I hope so. I really have no idea what I want to film next week, so please do leave a comment down below if you have any suggestions, because I am completely lost with that. But yeah, so that's my most used brushes video. I don't know if it's tag or not. I just decided I'm gonna share my most used brushes with you guys. Check the blog post. I'll have like written reasons, more not scatterbrained reasons like I am in this video. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. Anyway, that's it, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have an awesome